Scuffy was a huffy-puffy tugboat. Very small, but also very bold was he. Though he was a tiny boat, he decided he would float down to where the river meets the sea. So he started down the brook one sunny morning, saying, what a happy voyage this will be. Oh, he smiled and splashed along while he sang this happy song. I'm bound for where the river meets the sea. Toot, toot, went Scuffy down the brook. Toot, tooting at every turn he took. Down the river and around the bend, till he came to the ocean, his journey's end. But the sea was wild and rough and dark and stormy. When they found him, he was frightened as could be. Scuffy said, please take me home, and I'll never, never roam down to where the river meets the sea. Because the bathtub will be good enough for me.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of Reading with MARBROLAY. Today, we found this old little golden book in my storage. Now, this isn't from my personal collection when I was young. I don't know where I got this one from, but it is a very old one. As we can see right up into the top right hand corner, it says US 89 cents. It's called Scuffy the Tugboat. It's in good condition for its age. And its age, Scuffy the Tugboat and his adventures down the river. If we look right there, 1955. So it's way older than I am. But anyway, let's get into it. Now once again, if you like my videos, feel free to like them on YouTube, and you can subscribe as well. I really do appreciate it. Thank you in advance. It is free. One of the only things in the world that actually is free. Doesn't cost you any money, but just makes me feel good. So once again, thank you in advance. Okay, here we go. Scuffy was sad. Scuffy was cross. Scuffy sniffed his blue smokestack. A toy store is no place for a red-painted tugboat, said Scuffy, as he sniffed his blue smokestack again. I was meant for bigger things. Perhaps you would not be cross if you went sailing, said the man with the polka dot tie, who owned the shop. So one night he took Scuffy home to his little boy. He filled the bathtub with water. Sail, little tugboat, said the little boy. I won't sail in a bathtub, said Scuffy. A tug is no place for a red-painted tugboat. I was meant for bigger things. The next day, the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy carried Scuffy to a laughing brook that started in a high of hills. Sail, little tugboat, said the man with the polka dot tie. It was spring, and the brook was full to the brim with its water, and the water moved in a hurry. All things move in a hurry when it's spring. Scuffy was in a hurry too. Come back, little tugboat, come back, cried the little boy, as he was hurrying brimfully. Brook carried Scuffy downstream. No, I, tooted Scuffy. Not I. This is a life for me. All that day, Scuffy sailed along the brook, past the meadows filled with cowslips, past the women washing clothes on the bank, past the little woods filled with violets. Cows came to the brook to drink. They stood to the cool water. It was fun to sail around between their legs and bump softly into their noses. It was fun to see them drink, but when its white and brown cow almost drunk Scuffy instead of the brook's cool water, Scuffy was frightened. That was not fun. Night came, and it was in the moon. There was nothing to see but the quiet trees. Suddenly an owl called out, "Hoot, hoot, toot, toot," cried the frightened tugboat, as he wished he would see the smiling faces of the man with the polka dot tie. When the morning came, Scuffy was cross instead of frightened. I was meant for bigger things. But which way am I going to go? He said. But there was only one way to go, and that was the one with the running water where the two brooks met from a small river, and where the river sailed Scuffy, the red-painted tugboat. He was proud when they sailed past villages. People would build villages at the edge of the river, said Scuffy, as he straightened his blue smokestack. Once Scuffy's rivers joined a small jam with logs, there was a man in heavy jackets and great boots, walking around the floating logs, trying to pry them free. "Toot, toot, let me through," demanded Scuffy, but the men paid no attention to them. They pushed the logs apart so they could drift with the river to the sawmill in this town. Scuffy bumped along the jostling logs. "Ouch!" he cried as two logs bumped together. "This is a fine river," said Scuffy, "but it's very busy and very big for me." He was proud when he sailed underneath the bridges. "My river is so wide and so deep that people must build bridges to cross it." The river moved through big towns now instead of villages. And the bridges were very wide enough so that many cars and trucks, streetcars, could cross all at once. The river got deeper and deeper. Scuffy did not have to tuck up in the bottom. The river moved faster and faster. "I feel like a train instead of a tugboat," said Scuffy, as he hurried along. He was proud when he passed the old sawmill with its water wheel. Behind the hills and mountains, the winter snow melted. Water filled the brooks and rushed there from the small rivers. Faster and faster it flowed to the great river where Scuffy sailed. "There is too much water in this river," said Scuffy, as he pitched and tossed of the waves. "Soon it will splash over the top, and what a flood that will be." Soon great armies of men came to save the fields of towns from the rushing water. "They fill bags of sand and put them at the edge of the river. They make the higher banks for the river," scouted Scuffy, "to hold the water back. The water rose higher and higher. The men built the sandbags higher and higher. Higher went the river. Higher went the sandbags. At last the water rose no more. The flood water rushed out to the sea, and Scuffy raced along the flood. The people said the fields and towns were safe. On went the river to the sea. At the last, Scuffy sailed into the big city. Here the river widened, and all there were docks and waves. Oh, it's a busy place and a noisy place. The cranes groaned and they swung the cargoes into the great ships. The porters shouted as they carried suitcases and boxes on board. Horses stamped and truck motors roared. Streetcars clanged and people shouted, Scuffy said. "Toot, toot," but nobody noticed. "Oh, oh," cried Scuffy when he saw the sea. "There is no beginning and there's no end to the sea. I wish I could find the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy." Just as the little red-painted tugboat sailed past the last piece of land, a hand reached out and picked him up, and there was the man with the polka dot tie with his little boy beside him. Scuffy is home now with the man with the polka dot tie and his little boy. He sails from one end of the bathtub to the other. "This is a place for a red-painted tugboat," said Scuffy, "and this is a life for me." There we go, guys. Scuffy the Tugboat. I hope you all enjoyed it. As I said, it's a very old one, 1955, I do believe, what it said. US 89 cents. It's in great condition for its age. I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really, really do appreciate it. And, yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Make sure you take care of yourselves and ones you love. Don't forget to feed your pets. And remember, my name's MARBROLAY. Say hi to your dog for me. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Scuffy was a huffy-puffy tugboat. Very small, but also very bold was he. Though he was a tiny boat, he decided he would float down to where the river meets the sea. So he started down the brook one sunny morning, saying, "What a happy voyage this will be." Oh, he smiled and splashed along while he sang this happy song. "I'm bound for where the river meets the sea." Toot, toot, went Scuffy down the brook, toot, tooting at every turn he took. the river and around the bend, till he came to the ocean, his journey's end. But the sea was wild and rough and dark and stormy. When they found him, he was frightened as could be. Scuffy said, please take me home, and I'll never, never roam down to where the river meets the sea. Because the bathtub will be good enough for me.